Hello Flutter fellas! In this tutorial, we will build a time-based whack-a-mole game that challenges player to whack tiny moles within a given time frame. Let's start by setting up the main file. Insert Material App, and put a widget called Level View as its homepage. Now, we create a stateful widget which requires duration, which serves as the initial countdown, is set to 1 minute by default. Moles represent the total number of holes in this layout. Inside the level view state, we utilize a scaffold widget and place a stack widget in the body. Within the stack widget, we will create 2 layers. The first layer will serve as the level background. Display the image from the asset using image widget, followed by wrapping it with positioned to ensure the background occupies the entire space. In the second layer, we also use positioned widget and fill it with listenable builder to update the layout as the controller changes. Inside the builder, we return a column and display the countdown using text widget. We then align the text to the center and expand it with a flex factor of 1. In the same column, we include another expanded widget with a flex factor of 4. Continued by utilizing Layout Builder to dynamically adjust the child size based on the available space. Inside the Layout Builder, we include a widget called Mole View. This mole view receives the value of mole model as its data, the calculated size from the Layout Builder, and a void callback for interaction. Next, we wrap it with a wrap widget for iteration. Now, we determine the number of rows required to accommodate all the mole widgets by calculating the square root of the total number of moles and then rounding up. After determining the rows, we calculate the size for each mole view by dividing the largest available space into the number of rows. In the new file, we construct the mole view interface, which was previously utilized in the level view. In the build method, we deploy a container to occupy the space specified by the size parameter. To maintain proportionality, we include a size box with the shortest side value as its dimension. Continued by wrap these widgets with a gesture detector to embed the void callback interaction. Within the sized box, we place a stack widget to create 4 layers of mole view. The first layer inside this stack represents the background portrayed by the mole's hole. The second layer consists of the mole's image, determined by its type. The third layer showcases the visual effect of the hammered mole, visible only when the model data's established property is true. Here, we define the enum type for moles, including normal, bomber, and none. Continuing with the mole model class, we incorporate an index to serve as an identifier, specify the mole type to define its characteristics, and include a state to indicate whether it has been tapped. In this section, we'll develop the controller to serve as the backbone logic of the game. We begin by extending a changeNotifier class. Inside this class, we declare a private variable duration to represent the initial countdown. And we declare another private variable named length, representing the total number of holes in the layout. And now, we pass the initial duration to the changeable value of countdown. We generate the mole model data based on the private variable length that we declared earlier. Outside of those previously declared variables, we set startDate to mark the game's starting point and stopdate to mark when the game stopped. To determine the playtime, we calculate the difference between startDate and stopdate. We also declare a getter to check whether the game over condition has been fulfilled or not. Once all the necessary variables are declared, we create a function to initiate the gameplay. It first checks if it's the first time running. If so, it updates the startDate variable. Next, it checks whether the game is over. If it's still ongoing, we reset each mole's state and randomize its type. This process continues in a loop until the game is over. To halt the start function, we implement a stop function and adjust the countdown to 1 second. The final function is the on-tap function, facilitating interaction when the user smashes the mole. If the user smashes the bomber mole, the countdown decreases by 5 seconds. If the user smashes the normal mole, it increases by 1 second. Additionally, the state of the mole model established is changed to true. For the final step, we return to the level view state to initialize the controller. We then add a listener to this controller, ensuring that when the game is over, it automatically opens a game over dialog. It's important to remember to dispose of this controller afterward. Once everything is completed, this will be the end result.